you're probably going to lose money. I mean, it's just straight up. If you're trying to make money in trading or crypto, whatever it is in this space, you're probably going to lose money. And if you don't, well, you're an anomaly and I need to get your number immediately. But for the most people, 99.9% coming in, you're going to lose money. And I want to show you how you don't lose money so you can keep more in your pocket and continue your trading journey, because this is where most people's, I mean, honestly, their trading journey ends. It literally ends before it begins because they don't understand risk management. Now, risk management is a skill that decides if you're still going to be here in a couple days, because you're using this every single day that you're attempting to try and trade. And this is what most people coming in actually deal with, is the beginner's luck. I wanted to talk about that for a second because most people trying to trade, they immediately start making money. It's actually so fucking funny. And I can kind of say the same thing about going to the casino. Like, I don't know shit. I've only been gambling one time in my life and I won $200. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Didn't know shit. I was just clicking buttons and I ended up winning money, and I haven't been back since. But it's kind of the same with most people getting into trading. And it's not because it's gambling, it's because they don't understand it and they're just clicking buttons. They're going with their gut instinct on trades if they think it's going to go up or down, and they end up making decisions that if they were experienced they wouldn't be making, but they don't know better. So they have a little bit of beginner's luck and they're not using as much of their emotions as they would later on in their trading journey. So you've probably experienced the same thing. You come in, you win a couple trades, you're going good, you know, you're kind of stacking, you're like, oh, I got this figured out, I already know what I'm doing. You're increasing your leverage a little bit by little bit, right? You're increasing your risk per trade, and then eventually, boom, the fucking thing collapses. And one bad trade takes most people out, and then there you are. You've erased everything that you just did. The amount of times I've heard that exact same story is fucking baffling, and honestly, I feel like this is what most people are gonna go through if you're getting into trading. And honestly, if you haven't began trading and you're just watching this video, you're gonna go through this as well. But yeah, most people come in and they're immediately, you know, thinking that they got something figured out. They're increasing their leverage, they're increasing their risk, and inevitably they're going to blow it out and they're going to lose everything. So how do we prevent that? Well, beginners make money, and that's the problem. You come in knowing nothing, you click buttons, and the market pays you anyway, so you think you got to figure it out. And as I said, luck teaches lessons that the skill has to unlearn. So every lucky win that a beginner has, they come in thinking, oh shit, I'm obviously doing good. Let's do it a little bit bigger. So the size creeps up, the leverage creeps up, until one trade, it takes it back, and then everything that you just got is gone. And like I said, the worst damage is that this is what you're kind of thinking is working. You think that this is a strategy. You think that this is the way to be profitable, when it's just not. So how do we prevent all of that? Well, it starts with rule 0, and that is never trade money that your life needs. Now, what do I mean by that? Not rent money, not grocery money, not the car payment, not fucking insurance, none of that shit. The money that you deposit into your trading account, you shouldn't care about, right? If losing this money changes anything about your life, it does not belong in a trade, and that is step 1. And the way I want you to think about it is trading capital is money that's already spent in your head. So I know a lot of people did it when I had fucking nothing, dude. I used to pull out my calculator when I was working at fucking Raising Cane's and shit, and I would kind of add up the money mentally in my head. I'd be like, okay, I got $100 in this account, I got $500 here, I got some cash. I would kind of add it up mentally. When you're doing that in your life, because I know everybody does their own form of accounting, don't count your money that's in your trading account. Count it gone, right? The best way that I feel like you should be trading is whatever you deposit in that trading account is gone. Poof. Right? It's literally non-existent. And if it hurts to imagine that money at 0, it's too much. That's the trick. And I want to talk about why this is a strategy, because it's real, right? Scared money makes scared decisions, right? You enter trades that you shouldn't. You might second guess those trades. You might get a little bit clouded in your mind. You want to go in completely blind, right? You literally do not want to think about this money, and you want to do exactly what the charts are telling you. You will panic close winners and hold losers. I mean, that's just facts. So what you need is total detachment. You need a professional state where you do not care about what happens to this money. Win nothing, lose nothing, flat, emotionless, on to the next trade. That's ideally where you want to be by the end of the series. And it's not because you're rich, it's because you sized it that way. Detachment isn't a personality trait, it's a position size small enough not to feel what the pain or gratitude of winning a trade feels like. You know what I mean? The best way to test if you're in the detachment zone is if you lose a trade, if that fucking hurts you, if you feel sad, if you feel fucking angry, you're not detached enough. You know what I mean? You need to be completely detached from the money. The next thing you need to do is start smaller than you want to. And what do I mean by that? Well, most people come into trading and they think they need the most money possible. I mean, you hear it all the time. You can start with 10K, start with 20K, but what they're not telling you is you're gonna lose that money. Right? Most people coming into trading, you're gonna lose. That's part of it. You know, there's wins, there's losses, it's the ebbs and flows. You're gonna lose money. Why would you come in with a big amount when you haven't even proven a strategy to yourself? You're just destined to lose that money. And then what's that gonna do? It's gonna discourage you. And then you're not going to want to trade anymore. You're gonna get really discouraged. Everyone thinks they need 20 to 50K to start. Go backwards. Big starting money equals big emotional attachment and every mistake amplified at a bigger level. Small accounts are where you prove it to yourself. The skills are identical at every size. Levels are levels. Risk is risk. If you could build a small account, you could build a large account. Grow the account with your skill, not ahead of it, right? So don't go back and think, oh, I'm gonna flip this 50 to 100 and this 100 to a fucking 200 or 500, whatever. Think I'm gonna flip this $100 to 1,000, right? That's a 10x. I'm gonna flip this 1,000 to 10,000, right? That's the way you do it. I've done it a million times. I have friends that done it. People in the automation program, which by the way, if you don't want to trade at all and you just want us to trade for you, they can set the risk parameters on our copy trading software. And anytime I buy or sell anything on my end, it's doing the same thing on their end, but with their allocated money that they set aside. So they don't have to trade, they can set their leverage and they can forget about it. It's the same thing there. They grow their account small to a big account. That's the best way to do it. The best way to think about it is big accounts are earned, not deposited. I strongly recommend if you're thinking about coming in with 20,000 or 30,000, whatever it is, start small. You know, the average size of people that I've been seeing start trading and what I've been advocating for is $100 to $300. You can do damage with $100 to $300. What you don't realize is if you can't flip that money to 10,000, you can't flip 1,000 to fucking 10,000. You know what I mean? Start smaller. You're going to get the same results. It might take a little bit longer, right? You might have to have a little bit more patience, but it's way better to do that than coming in with your whole bag. Now we got to talk about the obvious elephant in the room, and that is leverage, right? We're talking about leverage trading here. If most of you are trying to leverage trade, that is. And what I would still suggest is say you have $1,000 in your portfolio and you want to leverage trade with 100, right? Keep that 100 there. Don't put any more. You know what I mean? Don't blow your whole account on one trade. Trading capital lives on the exchange, profit and everything else is out, right? So low leverage isn't weakness, it's room to be wrong. And what I mean is low leverage survives that wick that flushes the over leveraged people out. Let's talk about XLM. So right here, for example, there was somewhat support. People thought that it was gonna hold here, and we're still doing that to this day. But as you can see, we had a flush that even if you longed at this level, I mean, you had a 16% move down, you would have been absolutely wiped on leverage, right? You would have been absolutely fucking cooked on this trade, and then you could see what happened right after. I mean, you would have missed out on a, I don't know, what was that, fucking 70% move. Had you just been a little bit patient, that's being over leveraged, right? You go in with a couple trades, right? So for example, at that level, if it's looking weak and you want to enter a little bit below, maybe towards that lower level, what I'm trying to get at is you can have more leverage, just not all in one trade. I mean, but the still key is you should not be over leveraged on anything about one direction, right? So if your account's saying you're going to get liquidated in a 3% move, don't fucking do it, right? Like, that's obviously a stupid shit. Liquidated on the dip, the price runs exactly where they said, and that's literally going to destroy you. And you're seeing a textbook definition of that right here. You know, all these people that were longing, that were obviously right, they were betting on it going up. They were just a little too early, which by the way, this is on the week time frame. This was a little bit fucking long of a time to be betting on a trade. This is about the same amount of time on XRP that we had down here at the bottom. And sometimes you're holding a trade, that's just the reality of it. But the people that were longing over these few weeks, yeah, they most likely are fucking cooked. Unless you entered at some of these bottom ones because they were over leveraged, and by the time the shit ran, you were already out of the trade. I mean, that's just textbook definition of over leveraging yourself before the big move, and that's happening to everybody right now. I mean, this is really testing a lot of people. You know, because right now in crypto, we have been down for weeks at a time. Smart money is longing like the whales on Market Mirror. You could see that they're still buying, but most of retail is not going to be in here by the time we actually have a pump because they're either over leveraged, they close their trades. You got to be able to hold it. So not risking too much is the fucking key. I'm sorry. I know that was a lot. I know the leverage is probably the biggest topic when it comes to trading because a lot of people just don't understand risk. But the best way I can describe it is literally just don't risk your whole account. It's that fucking simple. You got to have ammo, right? You have to always have ammo for a little bit dip because crypto can always dip lower, right? Whatever you think is the bottom, it can always go lower. You do not want to blow your account. You want to be smart with your stop losses. You want to be smart even when you're in profit, right? Crypto is so sporadic sometimes. When it comes to leverage, you always need to be cautious. And that leads me into a perfect point. When do you exit, right? So green is meant to be taken. A lot of people will enter a trade and they'll be right? They'll go up, say you're up 100%, and I see it time and time again where they think it'll go even higher and they don't close, and by the time they close, it's fucking fractions of what they could have taken profit on. That's why you need to have an exit strategy. You will miss the top every time. That's the deal, and it's a running joke for a reason, right? Like people round trip all the time in crypto, whether that's spot or trading, because they just don't have an exit strategy. And that's where I really do believe that levels, you know, having an idea of, okay, we're gonna have some resistance up here, for example, on XRP at $1.34. Having ideas of where we should take profit will be better than just looking at this shit, for example, right? You see the difference? Looking at a blank chart, not understanding mentally, okay, you know, we got a level coming up here on XRP. It does make a difference, and that is exactly what you need to do. So yeah, the round trip, if you guys don't know what that means, it's riding it up, wanting more, and then you rode it back down to zero. You're literally round tripping your bags. A lot of you probably didn't even done that shit and you don't even know that term. And if you took profit, you could have took profit at this top, right? And it happens all the time. For example, go back to XLM. Price was getting exhausted up here. We were hitting some resistance. Some people that long down here, they weren't able to take profit up here because they probably wrote it back down to their fucking entry. That is literally a definition of round trip. You entered somewhere down here, you could have closed at this top, and then you see what happened, went straight back down, you round tripped your bag. So I want you to frame it a little bit different this time. Walk in like you know the odds. Some people walk into the casino expecting to lose, like me, right? Like I've only been once, but I was expecting to lose, but I didn't know shit about nothing, right? Most people, I know there's some people that go in there expecting to make money, but most people I feel like go there to have fun. And I'm comparing crypto casino because that's the big comparisons you always see. Crypto's gambling, all this shit. But there is kind of a little point in there. People walk into the casino expecting to lose and they're calm about it. They budget the damage before they play the slots or any of that shit. No panic, no tilt, no rent on the table. They're not, most likely, I'm talking about the outliers, they're not fucking idiots here. They go in with the money that they know they're going to lose. And you need to take something from those people in the casino. You need to have that same honesty without playing their same game. Budget every trade like it's already lost. Then let the edge do the work that the luck can't. It all goes back to what I just said in the very beginning of this episode, and that is not playing with rent money or money that you need because you're going to lose. And that's the harsh reality. And I'll say it again, if you're coming in and this is your first time trading, just expect to lose the money. It is what it is. Like, maybe a way to look at it is the same way that you have to go get a job. You know what I mean? You got to spend all this money in education if you're going to college for a nice job or something like that. It's the same thing with trading. You got to pay your dues somehow. And this is just giving it to the market. You got to pay for those losses. And those losses bring a level of learning, right? You learn from these losses. You need to write every single thing down, right? And I'll add this as a side note in here. I would highly recommend journaling your trades. So whatever you're entering, right? If it's an XRP long or a Bitcoin short, enter that trade and then write down the reasons why you entered that trade, right? So have a notebook, do it on your phone, whatever works best for you, and write down, okay, I'm entering an XRP long here. This is why. These are the signs I'm looking at. The level strategy showing me this, or whatever strategy you're using, and then see how that plays out. Over time, you'll be able to build something up. And then what I want you to do is go on Market Mirror. So you can go on Market Mirror on iOS and Android and show that trading journal to our AI called Orca. Now, Orca is an all-in-one trading assistant. It has everything you need to know. It's building from all of our data that we take, and it'll give you opinions on your trades. So take your trading journal, take some trades that you're about to take, give it to Orca, say, hey, what do you think about this? Unbiased opinion. Would you take this trade? Just give it to it. See what it says. It's pulling from the best data in the world. You'll find it really remarkable, some of the shit that it comes back saying. Just a little side note. But like I said, this isn't the casino. You have something that the casino crowd doesn't, and that's a system. Levels, volume, whale charts, money data, technicals. And that leads me into the rules that will keep you alive that kind of top off this risk management episode. Life money never trades. So we'll go back to that. Any rent money, anything that you need in this current day and age, right, that you absolutely need, that is crucial for your survival, do not trade with it. Experiment with a little bit of size. If it's really hurting you emotionally or if it's getting you really fucking excited, you're risking too much, okay? Start small until you've proven to yourself that you can scale bigger accounts, okay? Do not come in with $1,000, come in with 100, right? Don't come in with 10,000, come in with 1,000. Whatever your situation is looking like, you can risk a little bit more, but do not make the account oversized to the point where you're just going to get inflated ego where you're like, oh, I got more money. I'm going to make more money on this trade. It's easy to do that, especially if you go on something like Blowfin and you click like TP and you can see how much money you'd make if you increased your leverage. It's just a tactic by these exchanges to get you to risk more because they know you're going to lose. Start small. It's always going to be better. And when you're playing with leverage, make sure it's not enough to blow your fucking account before the move happens, right? For example, we've been in some XRP longs right now that I've been holding for some weeks. Right? We've been holding the shits, and some of them are at break even some of them a little bit in profit, some are even a little bit negative. But the way my strategy works is I enter a couple trades, right? I'll enter a couple of these shits because I don't go in all in on one position with my whole fucking bag that's in my trading account. I like to space it out. I give myself a couple entries. But the way I play is it's extremely hard to take me out because I'm so fucking cautious with the amount of money I'm leveraging. You gotta be the same. You cannot be blowing your account on these stupid ass positions, man, because sometimes it is stupid, right? It's stupid that we've been chopping for 6 weeks at this point, you know, that crypto's not really done anything. It's stupid. It really is because the stock market's up, gold's up. It's comical at this point. And at the time I'm filming this video, a lot of it is pending on this Clarity Act. But yeah, you don't want to get blown out before the move actually comes. And then lastly, you need to take that money off the table, right? And I'll encourage something. Right, so once you've built up an account, what's the proper channel to exit that account? When should you, take some profits out and into your bank. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. I would say after you've proven to yourself that you could flip from 100 to 1,000, go back to 100. I mean, go back to 100. I don't know how much 1,000 means to you in this day and age. I don't know what your life looks like or your bills, but if that money would change your life in a meaningful way, take the money. Right? There's no reason to keep it in the account and just steadily try to increase your risk. You gotta really get that under control too, because it's one thing I forgot to even put that in here, is if you're building an account, you know, from nothing to something, it's natural for a human, any of us, to think, okay, I built it up, I'm gonna increase my leverage a little bit. But that's the slippery slope that every single trader will get into. They'll slowly do it, right? It starts off with one, and then maybe you get a couple banger trades and you're tasting that new money. They'll start it up a little bit more. You know, you might go from a 5x leverage to a 10x. They'll start it up a little bit more. Don't do it, period, right? If you're getting to that point where you're like getting that itch to do the leverage up, fulfill that itch by taking the money, the profits out of the account and starting back what you initially had in, right? Or take your initials out, something. Don't just do what I just said, you know what I mean? In terms of upping your leverage inch by inch, because you're gonna blow your account. So yeah, the market can't beat you. It can only make you wait to beat yourself. That sounds very sus. Yeah, it really does. But don't beat yourself, right? Don't beat your shit. Like, don't. All of the stuff that's in trading, 99% of it is inflicted by you. And then there's that 1% where it's the anomaly, where it's like straight up shit that you can't predict, which was, for example, like October 10th. Let me go look at the XRB chart. Yeah, like this is the 1% anomaly that you can't predict, right? Nobody can beat that shit. But the rest of the stuff, you know, I think a lot of it is preventable. A lot of the problems that you're gonna run into in trading are preventable, and you can do better by just taking a little bit of accountability and doing exactly what I said. So yeah, we're about to get into it. Next episode is the level strategy. This is going to get really crazy. If you want all the tools that we have, including the level strategy itself, be on Market Mirror. It's on iOS and Android. It's free to download. And if you're watching this video, you're gonna need all these tools to begin with. We got them all there on the app. And if you wanna skip all of the trading period and you want us to trade for you, then be on the automation program. DM us crypto on Instagram. We post all of our plays there, and we automate these plays to your account. So anytime we buy or sell anything on our end, it's done on your end, and you never have to trade again. And it is that simple. It's just copy trading. But yeah, we also have courses. We have everything else available in there, and it's been really fun. So yeah, if you want in, DM us crypto. With that said, I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys in episode 7. Take care, and hit the like and subscribe.